Marco Polo. Alright, so we got Mongolia here. In the darker tinted colors, the cool colors as I call them. We got blue is Odette, and we got Japanese, which is a pretty good flank civ. And the other flank for Odette and the teal is the Saracens. And certainly in DE it would be a pretty good flank civ with the archers having a bonus against buildings, but I think the Saracens are better as the flank than the pocket just because they lack the knight's power from the pocket position. And then for the pocket for Odette, we've got the Portuguese, which have the gold discount for the knights, so I think this is a pretty good setup for Odette. We got a board coming in, and villagers just trading it off between who's going to attack the board next. Alright, so let's look at Maiar, and we know what Maiar is going to do for strategies. They're going to go skirmishers as flank and knights in the pocket. So Persians as yellow, the flank. Delphi would prefer the Persians to be in the pocket position, but we'll see how that goes for yellow. And then purple, we've got Celts. And yeah, Celts are going to be pretty good here in the pocket. We got that early start with the wood bonus. And then we've got in the pocket position, we got the Slavs. And that seems to be a decent civilization to me. We've got the farm bonus, which will help with the boom. So let's see how this match turns out. So we've got Japanese against Persians, and Saracens against Celts. Nothing to watch out for, but this is Odette playing. Is sometimes Odette, named after the real life player, of course. Odette will sometimes wall as the flank player. So let's see if either of them choose to wall their town, which is pretty ideal if you're playing Mongolia. It's about the best map you could have in what's considered an open land map. We got each of the AIs are going up to the feudal age. Maiar's there first. Looks like picking up some sheep from stealing from Odette there. We got 5 villagers building that archer range. So we've got no walls coming for Odette, and so far we don't have a clear leader, but it looks like purple might be moving out here. Meanwhile, blue is moving out with the man-at-arms rush. Let's see how this goes. So sending away those villagers while Odette, those skirmishers distracted with a scout. We got a tower coming up for teal. And looks like that's going to drive back Maiar. Meanwhile, blue looks like it's got 1 villager so far, 2 villagers down. Probably gonna have at least another here, I'd suspect. Now here the skirmishers are starting to engage. Alright, purple skirmishers found a way around the tower, sent the lumberjacks away from their gathering spots, and for teal, the only other lumber camp is this one right here, which is not in a good spot. So this could hurt teal pretty badly. And let's see what's going on over here with the flare. This tower is keeping Maiar at bay, but I would say that both of the flank players here for Odette are caught off guard. So taking a look at the pocket players, looks like both are doing their boom right now. I'd say that Red is doing a better job. He's got a military and a villager lead. Already got some Red Knights here helping out against Blue. So yeah, Maiar certainly got a better edge in this game at the moment. Green's going to have to come and help out. So we can see here the common retreating methods from Maiar. Will attack, then retreat to regather the soldiers. And that's a lot of skirmishers for yellow. It's probably about time for yellow to go to the castle age. Let's see how close it is. Looks like, yeah, yellow's still not close to the castle age. I'm not sure why. Alright, here we got some Green Knights coming here to help out, but they're just outnumbered by Red. And Blue's staying on the TC to help out, but there's hardly any spears to try and kill those Knights. Now those soldiers are going to go down. I don't know if I see a spearman at all, and this tower is going to be taken down. Alright, we got crossbows here for purple, and teal doesn't have much of an army, although teal did make it up to castle. We got blue flaring here. I wonder if blue's flaring, that's the attacking player or what? This TC is going to go down, and blue is basically out of the game at this point. One villager left, so definitely out of the game, and Maiar's now switching to the pocket player, it looks like. So this is already looking pretty bad for Odette. And smart play from Red, attacking the stronger flank player here to quickly make it 3 against 1. Teal's down to less than 20 villagers. And Green definitely has the best, the biggest boom of all the players, but that might not help too much. These Knights are doing pretty well against the elite skirmishers. Flip to Green's perspective here. And so Green's going to hold out for a while, but once Maiar has come in with a lot of pikemen like the yellow has, it's going to take a while before Green to get back at all. And 3 against 1, even if there's no pikemen, it's just going to pretty quickly, Green is just going to fall. Ram's coming in here from purple. Just to take a look back at this game, blue had some pretty good early aggression against yellow, but it didn't hurt yellows to the point where yellow had to stop training the skirmishers. And the couple of the villagers that blue was able to kill didn't slow yellow down enough. And then once blue's man-at-arms rush was killed off, yellow had the complete advantage. And then just in general, teal had a decent defense, I'd say, but just lost the military numbers pretty quickly against purple. And so I think that's leading us to the result we've got now. Against Maiar, if you don't have a strong success against Maiar's first push against you, then it's quickly going to snowball. I think this is the reason why Maiar is atop of the ladder at this point. We got some Oregon guns, they're fun to see, but they're not going to do a whole lot here. I think these Maganos are probably more effective than the Oregon guns. But if you have the resources to train out of both, then might as well. So we got Imperial Age, which is impressive, but that's not going to be enough to defeat 3 players at once, especially when Red has already been Imperial for quite a while. Well, maybe not quite a while, they've still got Cavalier coming up, so Red must have just gone to Imperial just about a minute ago. Alright, green down to 80 villagers. Let's see, I doubt these are just normal Oregon guns, no elite. Each of the Maiar players are fully boomed now and going to Imperial Age. And there's really not much to say at this point. Let's take a look at Maiar's town pretty quickly here. So Maiar's doing the 4 TCs. And of course, we don't know when Maiar put those up, but Maiar seems to do a 4 TC boom from what I've seen in previous games. 2, 3, 4 TCs there as well. Maybe a 5th one as a foundations going up. Is that no, that's a castle. And there's the GG from Odette. We see that Maiar has won game 3, and we'll move on to the game 4, which is a 4v4. Here's the stats. Pretty clear win for Maiar. Alright, so Maiar's ahead 3-0. Now it's time for the game 4 match. Alright, I think we're set to go. So let's start the match. Marco Polo. Alright, so let's take a look at the civs again. For Odette, we've got the Malay on the flank, which is probably good because their cavalry is pretty bad. The other flank for Odette are Italians. And, that's probably not the... I think I'd rather have Italians as pocket, but we'll see what the Italians can do here on flank. And then pocket, we've got Chinese, which is excellent. And then gray, we've got Ethiopians. I'd rather have Ethiopians as flank so they could do their archer rush, but we'll see what Ethiopians can do here. Now looking at Maiar, we've got Japanese, which can do pretty well as flank. Mayans, also great as flank as well. And then pocket, we've got, in the purple, we've got Khmer, which could be fine as pocket. I don't know if Maiar will go for the battle elephants. I don't think Maiar will go for those, but even so, I guess Khmer can do fine. But Nagar should be a pretty good choice for yellow. It should be pretty strong as pocket. Alright, so let's see how this match goes. So let's look for some possible target points. Blue's luring in the deer, pushing in the deer. See if he gathers these sheep here. Hopefully Blue can find those soon. Blue's got the forward gold, that could be vulnerable depending on what blue goes for. And then on the other end, orange has got it pretty nice. The main golden stoner in the back, and of course there's plenty of small forests available. But orange did put the lumber camp forward, so that could be vulnerable. Looking at green, let's see where's that main gold. So the main gold is off to the side. That's pretty well protected, I'd say. Especially if green's going to finish this wall. And I'm not sure that green is going to finish it. So it would have been nice if that wall was built on the other side. Oh well. And then for red, middle forward, that's not the best. Same with the gold. So red could be pretty vulnerable, but the two lumber camps are in the back, so that should be nice. Honestly, for Maiar is not going to be gathering gold until the castle age pretty much. So this is going to work out fine for red, I'd say. Our range is built in the back. So it looks like we're going to have an archer rush from the melee. Got a tower going up. I like that spot. It would have been nice if it was maybe a bit closer to the gold, but also this is basically in the direct path where you'd expect Maiar to come forward. So that's just fine. I am curious about the Italians player here. It's almost like they're going for a fast castle strategy. Got a market going up, that's curious. And red's already attacking, so I don't know what green is going for here. Okay, we got a blacksmith. Yeah, what's green going for? I don't know. Meanwhile, blue's got some soldiers here, but orange has easily outnumbered them. And those villagers knocked off the gold, as you'd expect. Let's see. Where's the other gold for blue? Yeah, so they've migrated over there to that gold, that's good. Looks like we need an extra mining camp by that stone for blue. And red, well, those walls are definitely stalling red. That's good for green. Alright, so it looks like we've got, indeed, got a fast castle. We've got some knights which might be coming down. Oh, can they bring out this tower? Got some knights coming for green. That tower is up. Let's see if we can get enough knights out to drive off the skirmishers. I'm not sure green can. Yeah, only 2 villagers gathering gold. That's not enough. That spearman is not going to do well at all. Back to blue here. We got some knights from purple, and blue's not looking great at the moment. Alright, so looking at green again, yellow's joined the fight, and looks like green wasn't able to get enough knights come out to kill off red skirmishers. The knights are the good choice to counter red, but just not enough resources available to pump them out. And now green needs both knights and spearmen, and it's going to be hard to get them out. So now it's up to the pocket players from Odette to make the difference. But honestly, right now, Maiar's pockets are making the difference. Those knights are doing a lot of damage. Including against teal. We got an attack against yellow coming in here. And yellow's easily outnumbering teal here in knights. So these knights are causing a lot of damage. So definitely got a lot of confidence here from the Maiar team. got up to Castle Age, but just don't have enough numbers to drive off Maiar at this point. Looks like Maiar is considering green dead. We could see green come back a little bit, but I'm not sure at this point. 23 villagers at 27 minutes into the game is not great numbers. So we're seeing some red soldiers getting picked off by the TCs here. Switch perspective. Let's see, is Maiar retargeting against green again? We've got some knights in green's town now. Yeah, so what can we say here? Blue is dead. Gray is now being targeted by purple. And already at the Gray's TC. And I think that ram is going to take it down. Sometimes we see AIs being able to target the rams pretty easily. Yep, so we saw that in action. That ram's going to go down as well. So that TEC is going to stand, but not for much longer. Alright, so both flanks are basically dead on Odette's side. Green's got a couple TCs, but only 6 villagers left. And Maiar's keeping enough soldiers in Green's town to keep them from booming back up. Gray's down to about 20 villagers, and Teal is below 60. So looking back at this game, Green did decide to go for the walling strategy, but I think Green kept with the strategy for too long and tried to go into a fast castle into knights, assuming that wall was going to go all the way up and defend him from red, but that did not work at all, I'd say. Maybe needs some improvement on the wall placements here, building the gates, but not finishing the wall. So I would have liked to have seen Odette fully switch into a feudal defense. And then Blue would just fell behind the military numbers against Maiar. And that is GG. So that means that Maiar gets to sweep the 4-game set against Odette. So here's the achievements. Let's go through the stats here. That was a quick game, only yellow made it to the Imperial Age. Less than 40 minutes for a 4v4.